Okay, welcome everyone. We are back with the league round 3 at Interlagos. I am joined today with my co-commentators Toasty and Alan. How are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, doing good. Um, Back on the wheel, for the first time in last 2 weeks or so. So that's exciting. Looking forward to tonight's race in the Group Three. Um, but first, the Group Four race, and I mean we started the stream early because we have a lot to talk about at this point. Round three.
Yeah, and today we have a sprint race for the GR3 class as well. So you'll be doing 2 races, right? You and Alan both, right?
Yeah, yeah, looking forward to that. Dino's already said he's super excited about helping you commentate that race as well. 7 laps is going to be intense around here.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Alan, are you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just taking it all in. I'm super excited for today. Round three is probably, I think, has all the makings for a great race. Just it's at Interlagos, which always delivers in real life and in GT7. Um, Now that the drivers have had 2 rounds under their belt, we can kind of see some early trends. I was talking to some of the drivers. I know last season when I entered round three, you get like these new thoughts in your head. You know, you've done 2 races. Have they both gone well? Is your championship shaping up the way you want it to be? You know, are you still, do you have one hit and one miss? You know, it's that best 2 out of 3 mentality. I spoke to a couple drivers, and some of them are already thinking like, is a championship run in the cards? Like, do I need to shift my
Mm-hmm.
mindset from, oh, I'm gonna have some fun to, you know what, I think I can win this. So, um, lot lot simmering. Hopefully nothing boils over on the track, but I'm super excited tonight.
Yeah, and speaking of championship standings, I have the championship standings up right now for the GR4 class, and top five are so Sir Hames leads the GR4 class with 46 points, and then second place is 32 Nasty PSVR with 34 points. So he's 12 points behind, which is not that far back. And then Little Jacob is in third with 30, and then Bishop is in fourth with 29 points, and Ads in fifth place with 25. And the rest of the field is actually pretty packed too. You got Token Timmy at 21, Dinosaur at 20, Motsky at 19. So those are really close for 6th, 7th, and 8th. Beto recently joining in has 13 from his previous race with Bahamut. But now he will be racing for Avanti Corsa today. And then let's see here. We have Racer X, Killer Pro, Slam King, and Rogue Nipra all within a couple points as well. So the GR4 team standings, we have Bahamut Subaru in first place with 60 points, beating the HHR Mazda team that's been doing really well across the overall team standings in the GR4 class as well. So they're in second with 55 points, so 5 points behind. And then Malistrom Motorsports Nismo is in third place with 46 points. But it's a relatively tight field. Like you have Shinra at 38, Avanti Corsa at 34, CrowdStrike Racing at 31, and then you have Vet Intimidated Racing at 26. So these, it might seem like a decent amount of points between them, but there's a lot of points that go into the team standings every round, so a lot can change. And then here, listen to this. This is crazy. So the team standings overall for both the GR4 and the GR3 class, you have HHR Racing Mazda at 110, so they got a pretty good lead. Then you have Avanti Corsa Honda at 85, Maelstrom Motorsports at 85 as well, so they're tied for second. You have Bahamut Subaru at 83 and Shinra at 83 for fourth and fifth. So second, third, fourth, and fifth are all within 2 points of each other.
Wow.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. The math just, I don't know, like I've done it 6 ways and it all makes sense. It could swing so vastly in the span of 1 or 2 rounds, but That is oddly satisfying to look at in your second
Yeah,
round.
it's crazy. And then even CrowdStrike and Vet Intimidation Intimidator Racing is really close too. It's 61 and 65, or sorry, 61 and 55 between them. So very very close. And then we also had some new changes to the BOP algorithm updated by GT7. So some teams and some other cars have gotten a little bit of a boost. Some of them have gotten a little bit of a nerf. We'll see how that plays out today.
Yeah,
So
there's
how
been
did
a lot of changes with the BOP, especially in Group 3. A lot of changes, and mostly because of the reintroduction of the difference in the speed categories of the tracks, the low, medium, and high speed tracks. So I think come Daytona, we'll see some shuffling around with the high speed nature of that circuit.
Yeah, and I was just about to ask you to, in what ways have the BOP changed your cars in either the GR4 or GR3 class?
And I think Team Lexus has gotten pretty lucky with the BOP changes. The Group 3 car is buffed in high speed, and in Group 4, no changes for the Group 4 car, but a lot of our rivals' cars have either added on weight or lower powers. So it's starting to swing back in our direction in that aspect.
Yep.
Yeah, for the Toyotas, me and Dutra and the GR3 Supra have escaped unscathed. No BOP changes for better or worse. We'll see. But the GR86 that Bishop and Rogue will be driving tonight had a tiny BOP change, only 5 kilograms, I believe, both for the mid speed or low speed and high speed. Um, but talking to Bishop and Rogue, we feel like we're a little slow. The GR6, GR486 on this long curvy straight at Interlagos, so we're immediately blaming that kilogram and adjusting appropriately. But I think using the power graph and weight graph that GT Engine provides with every update, on paper it doesn't look like we'll be affected too much. 10 kilogram or 5 kilograms doesn't scream anything to be worried about, but we are one of the few cars that did not get a buff. So,
Mhm.
um, but we'll find a scapegoat where we can take one.
Okay. So we'll get to qualifying in about 4 minutes. So we'll take a little bit of a break so we can set up here and I can share my screen with Alan, and then we'll get back into it once qualifying starts. So hang tight. Okay, so what can we expect from the strategies for the GR4 class today?
I immediately jumped into Interlagos right after our last race. I think to maybe no one's surprise, the front right is going to get absolutely demolished by every car on the grid tonight, just from what I've seen in our mixed practice. The softs, luckily, they do not have a sprint race, so The more talented tire savers will be able to stretch that out maybe 7 to 10 laps. I do think there's the potential for a one stop with some fuel saving, just going off of my team's GR486. Um, I could see some mixed strategies. I think this is going to be one of those races where there's might be a clear divide between a one stop and a two stop, but hopefully they'll be very competitive.
Yeah, we saw last weekend a lot of teams up until the race last week, or sorry, not last weekend, last week. A lot of teams are favoring strategies that involved stopping like less. So uh, it was funny because when Stoles had his three stopper, I think a lot of people looked at it kind of unfavorably, but he showed that it was a really strong strategy. And I wonder if we're going to see more and more teams go with like a three stopper instead of a two, or a two stopper instead of one, and favoring more of a sprint strategy going forward.
Yeah, I think the sprint strategies, as we're calling it will favor the four-wheel drive cars. They have very quick pace for a few laps, and if they can make the mediums last for a race stint, for a short stint, and do one more stop, I think they're gonna have a good chance to get a lot of points today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll see if that plays out today, because the seems like the pit delta for Interlagos is pretty high. Like, you have the straightaway, and then you have that long pit exit, and you miss out on a lot of fast moving car time while you're in the pit lane. So I think also the amount of time it takes for you to get to your tire change is like 26 seconds or something like that. So it's quite a lot of time just traveling into the pit lane to get to your spot. So we'll see if it plays out.
Yeah, I do have some of those numbers for you in case you want some exact timing. It takes about 18 and a half seconds just to enter the pit box itself. And then the time to travel out is another 19 seconds. So
Oh
just at a
wow.
base level, it is around a 37-second pit delta just to run through it. That doesn't account for fuel and tires. I think this is our longest pit lane so far in the series. I don't know if it's going to be the longest one of the season off the top of my head. So the one stop maybe might make its last appearance here. Another great thing about once you've entered a couple rounds is a meta starts to emerge in both categories of Stoll's unorthodox three stop won last year or last week, and then on week one, another three stop took the win from Hubble in the GR3 class.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
far, can't recall off the top of my head what stop strategies have won the GR4 races, but just at first glance, flat out is the way to go.
Yeah, and I think part of what's responsible for that shift in meta is the refuel rate changing from 2 liters per second to 3. That was a big change from last season, and it's almost 50% faster. So I think that change alone made a big difference. And then also the surprisingly, like, the tire wear change from 7 to 8x, I feel like should have made it worse for the strategies running soft tires, but I don't know. Interesting. So we're starting qualifying here, and drivers will have 10 minutes to put in their fastest lap. And I think, like last week at Mount Panorama, we're going to see a lot of people running a lap and then going in for pits to change their tires, go out for another out lap, do a hot lap, and then go and change their tires again. So realistically, we're looking at maybe 2 at most hot laps if they're changing tires constantly.
Yeah, two hot laps sounds about right to me. I believe the all-wheel drive cars are their front right is getting a little more torn up than some of the others, but that's just through kind of my sneaking and peeking during practice. I'm expecting pole to be somewhere in the 138 range, maybe a little bit lower. So at most, they're going to have 5, maybe 6 very tight laps for this qualifying session.
Okay. Yeah, I remember I was running the track walk session last week, and 138, mid 138, low 138s were the fastest laps then. But wind can have a pretty big difference in your lap times here, and it looks like cars will be having a pretty significant tailwind down the front straight. So maybe we'll see someone break into the 137s today. So Token Timmy making his way across the start-finish line into turn 1, starting his first hot lap.
So he used all the curb on the outside of the exit to the Senna S there, and 2 tires into the dirt about halfway down the straight to turn 4.
Yeah, you can cut quite a bit on the Senna S in GT7 and get away with without getting a penalty. I think we'll see a lot of that, especially here on this first hairpin, and then also in the Pico Gipatu, which is the Duck's Beak. This turn right here. I think it's turn 10.
Yeah, the curb is very flat though. The track surface itself is where the banking is, so I don't know if it's as beneficial as the first hairpin we were talking about. But I'm sure we'll see if there's any passing attempts made there that are going to be using a lot of curb because it's a bit narrow in that section.
All right, so Token Timmy puts up a 140.6, and Bryn takes first place so far, the first position with a 140.2, and it's quickly taken by Bishop with a. Oh, no, sorry, Nixon now has it. It's just gonna keep getting taken. So Nixon right now has pole position with a 139.8. Times will quickly drop as drivers get acclimated to their cars, and then their tires heat up and they get used to the track. So Sir Hames once again taking pole position with a 138.5. That's a pretty quick time there.
Yeah, that's very quick around here in a Group 4.
Immediately backs off too. I wonder if he's already gonna.
Almost a
Minor
incident
contact.
there. Yeah.
That was with ads, I believe.
He misjudged how quickly the Sylvia was coming up behind him, went to move out of the way, and the car was already there.
32 Nasty in a second place, just off of Sir Hames this time.
You can already start to see that degradation build up on the front right on Ads' car. So it looks like Bryn dives into the pits to get a new set of tires, but everyone else is staying out and just getting their laps in as we cross the 5-minute mark here.
Dinosaur just came in for new tires. He had to wait for a while for 4 or 5 cars to pass so he could cross the circuit. and
Oh,
I think he's
wow.
going to end up with a penalty as well. Heads across the line because there was just no safe way to get over there. But he'll serve that on his out lap, so no big deal.
So we got some new substitutes today. So People will be substituting for Racer X for the CrowdStrike Racing Lexus team. And we have NLR R. Nixon subbing for Matsuki in the Muhammad Subaru car. So I haven't seen Nixon race, but I know Poole is pretty strong, so I think the CrowdStrike Racing team will be hopefully depending on Poole to put in some good results today as an alternate.
Yeah, it's only round 3, but Poole has been an absolute legend for the CrowdStrike Racing team, Lexus team. It's round 3 and he's subbed in for 2 races, 2 different cars, of course. He was talking a bit before practice today, and yes, it definitely seems like he's more at home with the Group 4 car. Says he drives Miatas a lot, so more used to the lower downforce, more depending on the mechanical grip. Doesn't have a lot of grip left in those soft tires though. They've gone 5 laps or so.
Getting side by side with the Avanti Corsa NSX there. Oh, it goes deep and off the track, just barely avoiding the NSX there. I feel like Poole might be the Bishop of season 2. Like Bishop was subbed for almost every team last season, and maybe Poole might be that for this season.
Yeah, I know our viewers don't really get a chance to be acquainted with a lot of the drivers' personalities except their on-track persona. But yeah, it's been great practicing with him. He jumps in. It's just like, all right, what do I got to do? You know, let's get to it. So it's great to have him be part of the league in an indirect way. So I'm hoping he has a great result tonight. And I believe we are missing one driver tonight, unfortunately, on the note of substitutions and absences. Does not look like Lamb King made it to the grid tonight. He is out sick, unfortunately, so we wish him the best. Hope to see him on track again soon.
Yeah, he got like food poisoning or something like that, right?
Yeah, it did not sound pleasant at all.
It did not sound good at all.
Yeah, hoping for a quick recovery for Lamb King. We love to see him racing on track. There are a lot of very close times. From 4th to 6th is, I want to say 700ths? Yes, 72 thousandths difference between 4th and 6th place.
Dang.
Betu is on a personal best lap though, so he might be jumping out of that group. It looks like Dinosaurs just started his last lap here. His out lap was with a penalty, so I believe that's where that 134.1 came in. Oh, touched the grass a bit. The entry of 4.
Yeah,
it's easy to do, trying to open up that downhill 90-degree left as much as possible, and yeah. Right rear tire in the grass doesn't help keep the car steady, that's for sure.
Killapros improves, but doesn't improve his position. Looks like Beto improved as well. That puts him in 5th. Got Little Jacob in fourth, and then 300ths behind him is Beto. And then we have Bishop 400ths behind him.
Wow.
And then
And only
behind
a tenth to
Bishop, you
Brand.
have a 10th, a 10th to Bryn. So it's kind of pretty tight there. And then you have Nasty in third with 400ths to Ads, who is only a 10th ahead of Jacob. So second to eighth essentially is maybe within a second, half a second maybe.
Well, Sir Hames improves his time even more. It's a second
my
gap
goodness.
between HHR Mazda and Nixon.
Sir Hames looking like Max Verstappen in round one, Bahrain. Although his qualifying wasn't that much faster than everyone else's, but it was like a clear, I remember like 2/10, and everyone else was like less than a tenth. But all right, so let's take a look at our results here. Just one more time. So we got Sir Hames with pole position with a 137.8. That's really quick. I think the tailwind down the straight was able to get people down into, or get Sir Hames, sorry, down into the 137s. Everyone else was into the 138s, 139. So Nixon in second place, Ads with the Maelstrom Nismo team in third. We have 32 Nasty PSVR with Avanti Corsa in fourth. Fifth is Little Jacob with Bahamut Subaru. And then Beto in sixth. Bishop in seventh. And Bryn in eighth place with VAR. Poole in ninth. Token Timmy rounding up the top 10. Rogue Nipra with a 11th with the Shinra team. Kilopros in 12th, and Dinosaur with that unfortunate mistake there on the turn 4 on his last lap is in 13th. But yeah, so if we look at from second to 8th place, they're all within 1 second of each other. That's like so tight.
Like we're... Oh, nope. I guess it needed to be reset there. So lobby settings having to be changed.
Yeah, perhaps.
I saw the countdown and I thought, wow, we're going right into it.
Yeah, so it'll be a couple minutes before we get started here, since everyone's got to enter their tunes again and prepare their cars and enter track.
Doesn't look like there's a change to wind conditions, so it should be the same, at least for the beginning portion of the race. No rain at this track, and I think only I don't know if we've discussed this on stream yet about how weather works in GT7, but tracks will have like a number of weather slots, and they're all at random for the race. But the more weather slots, the more variable weather is throughout the entirety of the race, regardless if it's 10 laps or 50 laps. I think Interlagos only has 2 weather slots, so we'll have like a beginning weather session and an end weather session. But so far it looks like the beginning weather is going to look very similar to qualifying, except a later time of day, so it might affect track temps and tire temperatures.
Yeah, I believe this race is taking place during the late morning, so there shouldn't be too much of a difference between performance of tires as opposed to if it was later in the day. Definitely something we're going to have to look out for in the Group 3 race, whether or not the hards are going to drop off later on. Of course, the time progression also higher in the Group 3s, ×2, where in the Group 4s it's ×1.
One thing I really wish they had was I really wish they did have rain in Interlagos, because it rains so often there that it's almost like a staple of the track, you know, like seeing wet weather races in Interlagos is just, it's iconic.
Yeah, it's like not having rain at Spa, or the option for rain at
Yeah,
Spa.
exactly. Yeah. I can see Spa being a little bit more iconic with rain, but Interlagos is pretty close in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
the
funny
weather
though. I
it
was gonna
definitely
say,
changes as quickly.
yeah, I was gonna say last year, I don't know if you saw at the Formula One race how the wind started picking up all of a sudden towards like the middle of the race, and it started launching the awnings off of some of this grandstands, and
Oh,
like the
geez.
race had to be delayed or something.
Oh wow.
It was actually wild. Yeah, I
Like
think
1 minute to go.
sunny, calm weather is kind of the exception at Interlagos.
Yeah. Excited to see these Bahamut Subarus launch through the through the field again. I mean, Nixon's starting on the front row, so he's gonna be, he's gonna be at least alongside.
Yeah, so they got pace. I think their tires are going to be degrading much faster than the other cars because of the four-wheel drive, but I think maybe with a two-stop strategy, I think they might do pretty well in the beginning. Although track position isn't nearly as important on Interlagos as it is some other tracks, but the fact that they have pretty good pace and they can qualify well, it leads me to believe that they'll probably do fairly well, even with the extra tire wear they're going to get on that front right due to the four-wheel drive. I guess it all comes down to how well they manage their tires during the race and what their strategy is at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that's why the Avanti Corsa NSX are the ones to watch out for this race. I mean, they're both starting well within the top 10, 4th and 6th, and we know they have really good tire wear. 32 has just been at the top of the field the first 2 rounds, so he doesn't have nearly as far to go this time, and yeah, he's put in some solid drives, so.
Grubbles in Twitch chat says Verstappen got nothing on my guy Sir Hames. I apologize, Grubbles. I didn't mean to compare Sir Hames to someone like Max Verstappen. All right, Toasty, we can take it away.
Yeah, the cars have made their way to the grid now. Sir Hames on the left side of your screen, Nixon on the right. Nixon will have the inside line. Very important banking down at the apex. The lights coming on now. Go, go, go for the Group 4s at Interlagos. Looks like Nixon got a great start, as the Subaru always does. And Jacob almost make it to the... Does he make it to the inside of Sir Hames there? Or nearly makes Sir Hames take off the racing line a bit. Sir Hames is practically pushing Nixon down through Curva de Sol there. Down the short straight to turn 4. Is Sir Hames going to make a move down the inside, retake the position? He gets alongside there into Descida del Lago and makes the move. So little Jacob now taking a look on his teammate, thinks better of it, doesn't want to slow his teammate down, and 32 now. We try to move around the outside. No, darts to the inside of turn 6. That was a late move, but I think Jacob just saw it coming. Gave him the room.
And he takes the inside, yep. Takes the inside there and around the Laranjia into, looks like they're going to get into, comfortably in the lead there into the Bico de Pato. So that was a pretty great move by 32.
Yeah, all the way up and already up into 3rd place. Eds is taking a look. The last corner there. Takes a tight line. He's going to be slow on the exit there. So Jacob might have some speed to get back past. Now it looks like Eds keeps the position there into turn 1. Oh, Nixon got a bit wide through the Senna S there. And 32 is going to be on the right-hand side. Oh, he's just ahead now, and Ads is thinking about making it 3 wide.
Looks like Nixon got a little bit of a bump there into Nasty's rear, but didn't affect him too much. And Ads now on the inside of Nixon into the Ferradura. Looks like he'll be taking the position.
While all this is going on, Sir Hames has just been driving away. 3.3 second lead.
Oh, we have an off.
Looks like
That's going to be Nixon, unfortunately.
He does well to rejoin safely. No damage on the car. It does have a 1 second penalty, so that'll put him further back. But yeah, that was a shame.
Yeah, so he got his right tires there into the grass. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Ed's taking a look into turn 1, trying to make another move. 32 defends that well. Little Jacob in 4th on the hard tires, defending from 5 cars behind him on the mediums, forming a bit of a train there. Interesting strategy starting on the hards. Just want to take the first stint as far into the race as possible, I guess. Oh, 2.5 second penalty for little Jacob. He went very wide.
Yeah.
The exit of the last corner.
look at that, almost getting squeezed by Token Timmy there. They're so close into coming into the. Oh, it looks like the
Oh,
Hey,
bit too
incident
close.
there.
No damage, it looks like. But definitely an incident.
Beto taking advantage of the little holdup there, gaining a spot on. Or sorry, that was Killer Pros getting a spot on Beto.
Yeah, so Token Timmy has some damage on the rear of his car from the contact with Beto, I think. Oh, Beto gets very sideways with that hairpin for 9. Saves it though, keeps it pointed in the right direction at least. Back on the track. Not too much time spent in the grass, but like Poole is going to get past him here.
And Rogue is right on his tail as well. So Bishop is down in 12th. I wonder if he had a bad start or something. He doesn't have any damage. I guess he's on the hard tires, so maybe the hard tire compound isn't quite working super well for him today.
Yeah, there's a lot of cloud cover over the track right now. The track temperature's probably dropped quite a bit. Those hard tires probably don't feel very good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that strategy decision. I would think Bishop would have been out on a softer compound, maybe even the softs at the beginning to make up some positions. He has some serious pace on the soft tires in that car. We saw it last week, the week before.
Yeah, I'm also quite serious. Just in our team chat, he had mentioned doing 2 stints on mediums for 16 apiece and even 1 stop. I wonder, hopefully it wasn't just an oversight, or maybe when they were during practice today, he just felt like the hards were turning on quicker for him, but yeah, I don't recall seeing an incident in the first 2 laps. I mean, our 2nd through 8th place were so tightly packed that we were following them very closely, but yeah, it is surprising to see him down in 11th. But he's capable of keeping his head and having a good recovery drive, so hopefully something comes to fruition for him.
So Rogue was able to get around Beto. I think we missed the pass, but I think it must have happened in either turn 4 or maybe around the Fejadura. But Rogue has been improving a lot since he's started racing on the wheel. You can tell his consistency has gone way up.
Yeah, that's the big difference, right? After you get used to a wheel, it's the consistency that comes first, and then you're able to add in some precision later after that and get even quicker. A Poole all over the curb with those hard tires. Rogue has a massive tire advantage right now, although the front right is, well, it's looking about the same as Poole's front right actually. So looks like Rogue might have made a slight mistake in turn 4 though, because he has Beto all over the back of that 86.
I think Rogue's ability to save his tires as well has been drastically improved. The first 2 races, I think he did all of his stints in soft tires, so he's able to make those soft tires last much longer than a lot of other people can.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the advantages of having the G Pro specifically with the Tree Force tech. You actually get a really good feel of when your tires start squealing, so you can kind of like avoid that really well. Nice. Sorry, Toasty, you were saying something?
I was just directing our attention back to the front, so the gap has dropped to, well, 2/10.
Oh, whoa.
32 to Sir Hames. 32 has used a bit more fuel, but has a lot more tire left. Looking for the outside line around turn 4. He has the tire to do it. Oh, pushed a bit wide there onto the exit curb. I think Sir Hames just didn't anticipate how much understeer he was going to have into that left-hand corner.
Yeah, that was a tight encounter there. I don't know if we're gonna be seeing a penalty at the end of the race here for that, or maybe if it's just a warning. I'll have to take a closer look at that as a steward at the end of the race.
Yeah, it looked like 32 might have been maybe halfway alongside Sir Hames going in to the corner, so yeah, it'll be a difficult one to call for sure. 32 is right back at. He's right there though again.
Wonder if Sir Hames will be pitting in the next lap or so. I mean, his front right compared to 32's almost gone.
That Mazda though has crazy straight line speed. You can see him almost pulling away even when Nasty has that slipstream. It's going to be hard for them to pass down the straights. I think last lap, Nasty was able to capitalize on Sir Hames' mistake coming out of the Senna S. Maybe he'll be able to take advantage of his speed potentially around the corners. Yeah, it looks like Sir Hames' left-hand turns are incredibly slow.
Yeah, it seems to be a trait for the HHR Mazdas. They have a ton of speed down the straight.
Nasty getting really close there into turn 8, I believe. Trying to get the inside there. Oh man, just barely not able to make it work, but dives into the inside here, into the beak, and not able to make it stick. He's just trying to get his car in front of that Mazda, but that Mazda is just not allowing it, not having any of it.
Sir Hames is placing his car so well going into the corners that the door is just a peek open. Not enough to walk through it though. Might be seeing our first
Mazda. Look, he's making that Mazda very wide at the moment.
It still opts to stay out.
Yeah, continues to stay out.
Yeah, a couple laps ago, I saw Ads go into the pits for our first pit stop. He was running the softs.
Oh yeah, went for another set of softs.
32's got a good run on Sir Hames into out of the Senna S. Sir Hames goes into the inside to defend. Is he gonna able to turn that car into turn 4?
What's the switcheroo from 32?
32 at the great late apex, taking the inside there into the Fejadura. Great move. I think Nasty was able to identify that turn 4 was one of Sir Hames' slowest corners due to that crest and having the understeer on the right front tire.
Yeah,
Great
I think he experienced it firsthand from being pushed a bit wide.
Yeah.
And then he thought, well, let me use that to my advantage, and he did.
Yeah.
So Sir Hames will definitely be thinking about hitting now. Both front tires basically gone.
So Brent's got a great race today. He's in 3rd right now for VIR Chevrolet. And he's still got a little bit of life on that right tire. Not as much as the Avanti Corsa Honda, but he's got a decent amount.
Yeah, I noticed that VIR. they're running third and fifth right now. The Corvettes. That is, I mean, their best result by far so far. That would bring them a ton of points.
Still no pitting from Hames, but I did see Rogue jumping into the pits for his. Looks like he's on pace for his strategy. I believe he's going for a soft, medium, soft tonight. So I had an idea we might see some hybrid strategies instead of medium, the same compound for both or all three stints. I'm curious to see what everyone's going to come out in the next lap or two. Especially most of the front rights are starting to scream at you. Can't really ignore it at some point.
I think that was a additional rule brought in from round 1 at Road Atlanta. Had to keep the same compound across the 4 tires.
Oh, I just meant like hybrid of like using 2 different compounds for the race, not like
I see what you mean.
Not sticking to one for the entirety of it. But Corvettes, not to be outdone, the NSXs are just also having a great race, 1st and 6th. This is the first time we've had both NSXs in the race too, so.
Oh, that's true.
You could see a big point swing at the end of today with 1 Mazda out, but 2 Corvettes having a great race and an additional Honda making up some points they've been missing out on.
So Beto there getting around Killer Pros, who dives into the pits. That tire advantage. Looks like Beto's doing a good job managing his tire wear to keep the front right and the back right somewhat close in tire wear. And it looks like his back right tire is worn more than the front right. I like the Beto sticker that he's got on the rear windshield there. Nice little addition to his car once joining the Avanti Corsa team. So People and Nixon are going down side by side into the Ferradura. People taking the inside. Nixon being currently sandwiched right now between the 2 CrowdStrike Racing Lexus cars.
Oh, Nixon trying it around the outside. Oh, wide into the grass. Back on track though, no damage. I was telling Poole earlier he was he had a rough time at Bathurst. I told him, don't worry, the walls are much further away.
Yeah, he's with Bathurst being the. Oh no, it looks like someone ran out of fuel here. It looks like, was it? Okay, no, maybe he didn't run out of fuel. Dinosaur was going pretty slowly. Maybe he went off the track and had to rejoin slowly.
I think it might have just been a penalty.
Yes, that makes more sense. So Nixon was able to take back that position. So those 3 cars in that train just all dive into the pits. Poole, Nixon, and Dinosaur in the original positions they had starting the lap.
So Sir Hames coming out of the pits now. It looks like, from what we're seeing here, mediums to mediums, he's just splitting the race into 3. So 11 laps, 11, 11, and 10. Oh, and Bryn gets a 3-second penalty from crossing the pit lane lines.
Yeah, the pit lane line penalty is certainly one of the harshest penalties in the game. 3 seconds on the straight is absolutely devastating.
Beto is in now in the Honda. .32 at the front is yet to make his stop. He's probably going to come in this lap. Both right tires are gone. And I think ads might be on a one stop more strategy than most drivers in this race. Let's see, he pit on lap 9. From the timing table on the right there.
Leader is into the pits. Judging from what I'm seeing right now, I think Bishop might be the only one attempting a one stop. Most people pitted like clockwork on lap 10 or 11.
Oh yeah, Ad's actually coming into the pits now, so Bishop's going to inherit the lead. And he's going to want to see that gap to second increase as much as possible. He's on that one-stop strategy. They'll all have to stop again and pass him.
Yeah, so I think Bishop might actually be in a good position here for getting on the podium and maybe potentially winning the race. Looks like he's maybe a net right now, 20 seconds ahead. Yeah, 16 it says on the interval from the leaderboard. So that would mean if he pits one more, and Sir Hames has to pit one more, and there's what, 16, say 18 laps left. See some quick mental math. I mean, the laps that Sir Hames was doing towards the end of his stint were at the same pace as Bishop was. So really, if Bishop keeps it up, I think he might be able to win the race on his one stop.
That would be quite a turnaround from what we were saying earlier on.
Yeah, no, right, about the meta strategies, yeah. I mean, that would be really cool to see how, depending on the track, if the one stop is more powerful or a three stopper is more powerful. It comes down to the track more than it does just overall blanket meta strategy being more powerful. So I think that's exactly what we wanted from these changes.
Yeah, I think, assuming, Bishop's on the one stop, I guess it's going to come down to fuel. I mean, Bishop's going to be in the pits for much longer, whereas Sir Hames will only need about 60 to 70% of fuel. Based on the calculations Bishop and I went through, might have to fuel up to like 95%. That difference of 30 to 36% difference, that's about a 12 seconds right there just for pit time. It'll just be interesting to see if either driver ends up in a battle and that it affects their lap times and holds them up. I know Bishop tends to, I think he does his best when he's kind of in clear air and he kind of puts his head down and races his own race. But Sir Hames is fantastic at showing that mental fortitude of just being able to battle and set consistent lap times. Him and 32 are still setting 42-second lap times in the heat of their battle.
Yeah, that's true. So if they're lapping about a second faster then B-Ship, they're gonna be making up around 15, 16 seconds in addition to the lighter fuel load that they have to take on. So that maybe that's another 10 seconds or so.
Mhm.
So that's approximately going to be the delta of a lap of a pit. So we'll see. I think it might be pretty close towards the end of this race.
Yeah, so when Sir Hames came out basically alongside, or when 32 came out basically alongside Sir Hames out of the pits, it was about a 2/10 difference, and I think they saw B-Ship and kind of did the mental math then and figured, yeah, we can't be fighting each other right now, we gotta get up there.
Yeah.
Gave each other a bit of breathing room. Not too further back, we see Bryn and Beto battling it out for 5th place. Bryn with a bit heavier car with the fuel, Beto with the tire advantage as well. Takes a look on the inside through turn 4. Just letting Bryn know he's still there. Another look, just filling the Corvette's mirrors with Honda logos.
Thinks about diving in onto the inside there at the Pico de Pato. All right, he gets alongside Bryn into the start-finish straight. They're going side by side.
Oh my goodness, papers with between them, going over the start-finish line, basically brushing door handles. Now Beto's looking, Bryn's looking to the inside in that Corvette. Using that banking at the apex of turn 1 makes the move.
Yeah, the inside there has a little bit of an advantage when you're battling because of that banking. I think Beto now is kicking himself for not defending the inside going into that turn.
Exactly. Looking around the outside now, it's a difficult move to make. We've seen it with Sir Hames in 32. Beto just backing out of it there. And his teammate 32, meanwhile, is battling for the lead. So Sir Hames and 32 got past B-Ship after he made his one stop, and they're saying, okay, let's resume our battle. .32 is going to have so much more grip on the front end. Just looking at the tire wear difference between them. But again, Sir Hames has that straight line speed.
And 30 is gonna look for that inside again. Oh, this time not able to do the switcheroo on turn 4.
Oh, a bit of contact there through the hairpin. I think 32 tried the switcheroo there and misjudged it a bit. Looks
Yes,
like he
sir.
lifted off the gas though. It gave Sir Hames some room.
Sir Hames is just struggling there with his right front, but Nasty not able to capitalize. Sir Hames misses the apex on the last turn at the junction there, and Nasty still is behind them. And he's having a hard time catching the slipstream and making any sort of gain on the straight because that Mazda is so fast in a straight line.
It's almost like 32 has so much more front end on the car that it's almost catching him out. Like he's catching the Mazda so quickly mid-corner that he just doesn't know which way to go. It looks like a lapped car ahead. Is that Nixon? Or no?
It's one of the Maelstroms. It could be
It's token to me.
yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah, he's...
Oh, Nasty dives into the inside again and does the switcheroo for a second time to get that lead position. Defends in the inside into the Ferradura and turn 8. The comfortably ahead of the Mazda. We'll see though if Nasty can keep the lead down the straight. I think the problem is that the Mazda loses so much time in the turning sections ahead of the front straight that he just doesn't have enough distance to take advantage of the slipstream there.
Yeah,
He
I
might
think
get a lucky break on this
Mazda's...
straightaway.
Yeah, he's got a bit of help there from the Maelstrom Motorsport Sylvia. Using a lot of slipstream there, staying behind the car for a bit.
So Beto's still behind Bryn trying to make this pass work. Can the other Avanti Corsa NSX get past their opposition?
Yeah, just doing some mental math. Both of the NSX's strategy might be really interesting today. It looks like they pitted on lap 13 for fresh mediums. If they can make those mediums last another 13 or 12 laps, I know 32 Nasty is incredibly fast and I believe has both of our fastest laps, so I think we'll see their final stint on softs for about 6 or 7 laps. I think they might pull away very dramatically in the final part of this race.
Yeah, that's a good point. Or even just shorter stints on mediums, just use them up more. Like Beto is... He almost made the move on the inside. He took the inside line very tight there. Looks like Bryn might have squeezed him a bit mid-corner towards the apex. Bryn keeping 4th at the moment.
So both VIR Chevrolet Corvettes are having a intense day right now. So Rogue has been behind Killer Pros for the past couple of laps. So both Corvettes are just fighting for their lives right now.
Man, this almost reminds me of a Wednesday Academy session. We got people broken into pairs battling each other all throughout the track.
Yeah, and then you got Ads and Dinosaur going side by side into the, I think that was turn 5. No, sorry, turn 9.
Yeah.
Turn 9. Ads making the pass on Dinosaur and making it stick. Dinosaur is struggling with his front right and has damage on his rear. So So Rogue looking to make an inside pass on Killapro's into turn 1 side by side. Is he gonna make it stick? Yes. Takes the lead and the exit of the Senna S. Great move by Rogue.
It's hard to be
Textbook.
unbiased right now. That's an incredible move by Rogue. Just wonderful, wonderful job by him. It just speaks to how much he's become so much more confident in his skills in the car, but
Killapro's
not
looking
over
to the
till it's
inside
over.
though. Oh, makes contact with Rogue. Oh, I don't know there. I don't know about that one. That was a bit of a dive bomb. And Rogue picks up a penalty.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think Killapro's went in a little hot there on the inside, so that'll probably have to be reviewed at the end of the race.
Yeah, he was picking up a lot of overspeed from the slipstream behind that 86, and I think maybe just might have misjudged how much earlier he had to brake there to make the corner alongside.
So Beto was able to get past Brim and also got past, it looks like little Jacob, who's diving into the pits. Maybe we can catch a replay of that in the last turn there. We missed the pass, unfortunately.
Wow, so Honda currently running 1 in 3.
Sir Hames right now.
Wow.
His front tires are completely gone.
I'm not sure when those tires went out, but looking at his lap times, he's pulling some consistent laps with it. 43.1, 43.0, and a 43.6. He's hanging on. This is lap 22, the even third, no, the 2/3 part of the race. I think we're going to see a lot of pit stops in the next minute or two. Hubble in our chat. Double podium for Team Honda would be nice.
Yeah, Sir Hames into the pits, as we predicted, lap 22. He's going to have a slightly shorter 10-lap stint to the end, probably on medium. Beto also coming in.
Yeah, we'll see where these guys end up in relation to Bishop, because Bishop, again, is the only person on the one-stop strategy. He's coming down the front straight right now. And looks like Sir Hames has already finished fueling, so I think Sir Hames might come out on top. But he'll probably be able to go to the end, right? That this is his last stop, it seems like.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Might have to fuel save a bit there, but definitely doable.
Yeah, so Sir Hames comes out of the pits in 3rd place right now.
Heads and Rogue battling again for 6th place. Oh no!
Oh no.
Looks like Rogue lost the back end of the car there. That's at the turn 8, I believe.
At the, what's the name of that turn? The Pinheirinho. I think that's pine tree in Portuguese. Don't ask me why it's named pine tree.
You beat me to it. I was like, was there a lone tree that lived there for the longest time?
I have no idea.
It's usually.
The corner names are super weird for this track in Portuguese. So we have the Senna S, which is turns 1 and 2. And you have Curva do Sol, which means like the turn of the sun, which I assume, I don't know why it's called that, to be honest. And then you have Descida do Lago, which is like, you know, that's translated as the descending into the lake, or the descending of the lake, and that makes sense because when you're turning into turn 4, you can see the lake there. But then you have turn 6 and 7. So turn 6 is called Feadura, which is horseshoe, right? And that makes sense. It's like a U. But like the second half of the horseshoe is called Laranjia, which means orange, or like little orange. And that like makes no sense.
So Ads is showing some pace now. Looks like he's battling for 4th place now. Getting alongside Killepros at the exit of the last corner.
It looks like Ads has got the inside. Oh, but he's
little turbo engine versus a big V8 down the straight.
Takes the inside into the Senna S and makes it stick. Yeah, the inside line of the Senna S is so powerful for overtaking. It's so much easier to get your car rotated for the second half into turn 2 than it is for the car on the outside.
Yeah, you really need a tire advantage to stay side by side with the car taking the inside line.
Yeah. So great move there by Ads into 4th place. Although not likely a net 4th place because he has to pit still. And Ads, speaking of pitting, Nasty is just dove into the pits. And Bryn will also have to make a pit stop eventually as well. There he goes.
What she does right now.
Yep. It's funny seeing the cars just like top speed into the pit with like the little mini chicane there, and just going top speed through there. It's really funny.
Flat out.
So Nasty switching to the softs, looks like, for his final stint.
Like it's going to be close for Sir Hames if he's going to be able to take the lead here.
All right, so
Looks
we got
like
a race.
does.
Nasty coming out behind Sir Hames, but now has a tire advantage. Not only in just wear, but also the compound as well, being on softs. So we got a race to the end here.
Yeah, 32 has plenty of fuel in that Honda as well, so he's going to be able to push 100% from this point on.
Yeah, I think the key here for Sir Hames is for him to preserve his tire wear as much as possible until Nasty gets into striking distance and defend for his life.
I think Bishop might still be up for a podium here. Ads has to make another stop, probably, for those tires.
Yeah, and he's only
Kill
6
Pros
seconds
as
ahead,
well.
yeah.
His closest competitor right now is Bryn, who's on fresh softs. It's the same idea that 32 does right now.
So let's see here. Bishop has Killepros about 2 seconds behind him, who has to pit still, and then Bryn is So Bryn is about 7 to 8 seconds behind Bishop on soft, so he's going to be in striking distance within a couple of laps, I think, but it's going to be close between the two in the closing laps. So the final podium position is going to be up between Bishop and Bryn. It's going to be a pretty close. This is going to be a pretty close race.
I think Beto's just right behind, so I think there might be a third car in this mix.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Battle for the podium, battle for the win, battle for third place between 3 cars. It's all coming down to the wire here at the end.
Killer Pros now pits, as does Ads. So we are looking at our probably net top 5 right now. I'm not sure how far Jacob is behind Beto. He's been having a quiet race since the first opening lap.
Yeah, it looks like about 7.5 seconds.
Yeah. So Beto in the first stint and also in the second stint of the race has been behind Bryn for the majority of the race, just trying to find a place to overtake. Was finally able to do it, but then Bryn comes back out on top with his pit stop, so maybe he was potentially saving more fuel or something. Or maybe Beto made a mistake somewhere.
So 32 just making it past Dinosaur there, lapping the CrowdStrike Lexus. It looks like they lost an equal amount of time there, lapping the car. So still about 1.9 seconds is the gap.
I think PSVR, and Net 32 NAS PSVR is actually gaining quite a bit. At the beginning of the lap, he was about 2 seconds down, and now he's already at 1.6. So about half a second caught up, and that's quickly closing. It's 1.2 now.
It'd be interesting to see if he sets his fastest lap, maybe the fastest lap of the race. I believe he was on a similar track at Bathurst. He just knows when he gets in that clear air, he can put really fast lap times down to close that gap.
So Chan DZ is asking if these racers have live streaming channels. I don't think any of them do have live streaming channels going up right at the moment. All right, we have 4 laps to go.
I think we might see our fastest lap. He was up 4/10 at Sector 2. There it is, 38.9. An extra point on the board for him.
Nice.
Oh man, the pressure is on. Sir Hames, though, his front right is quickly degrading.
Sure, Sir Hames was keeping an eye on the delta there. It's 32 gained 1.4 seconds by the straight, making an early defense there on the inside line. He does not want to leave any door open, even an inch, right now.
Nasty taking a look at the inside there, just taking a quick peek, but not actually going for it. I think this section of the track is where Nasty is going to have to find his opportunity to pass. Oh, bumps Sir Hames there. We might actually pick up a track limits penalty due to that bump. So I hope that won't be the case. If that is the case, I think Nasty might have to wait for Sir Hames to recover. But I think all is good.
Yeah, it looks like they're both clear of penalties and damage. So they should be able to get right back to it here.
For our viewers, I will post a link to our community if you're interested in joining towards the end of this race. Right now we have a intense battle right now going for first. Nasty trying to get in a good exit there, but Sir Hames parks his car in the outside line there. Doesn't allow 32 Nasty to get around him. I think this is the turn where Sir Hames has lost the position 2 times now. He's going to try to stick to the inside as much as possible and not let Nasty through, but Nasty gets his nose in and not able to pass. Oh man,
Sir really Hames using the straight line speed of that Mazda to his advantage on the corner exits. 32 though slips down the inside through turn 6 and 7.
It makes the overtake at the Laranjia. Great move by Nasty. Yeah, I think with the tire advantage there, I think Nasty had it in the bag. I think he comfortably had enough time for the end of the race to be able to pass him. So now we got Bishop in 3rd place with Bryn right close behind, less than half a second. And then Beto also in 5th, trailing behind the 2 of them.
Eerily reminiscent of Bathurst, just a tight battle for the final podium position.
Oh my god, yeah. Absolutely insane. The Bishop right now fighting for his life. Alan right now sitting on the edge of the seat, hoping his teammates can keep the position.
Bishop has a ton of pressure on him right now. 2 cars behind him with somewhat fresher, softer tires.
Bryn there taking the inside with that massively fast Chevrolet Corvette, taking 3rd place, but looks like Bishop is still alongside him into turn 1. Beto there also able to take the position from Bishop on the inside, following Bryn into the Senna S. Unfortunately, Bishop had to give it up. Does not have the tire, does not have the tires to defend.
Oh man, tried to hold on to it through the exit of the S's and Curva de Sol, tried to get a slipstream down to turn 4 to see if he could do anything about it. Just gonna have to hope that Bryn and Beto are battling like crazy at this point now, slowing each other down.
That's right, so Bishop not totally out of the battle here. If Bryn and Beto get into some trouble, it might allow Bishop to slip through.
So 32 now starting his last lap, about 4.4 seconds ahead of Sir Hames, so really extending that lead.
And so 32 and Avanti Corsa with an incredible strategy today, an intense battle with Sir Hames, is finally able to potentially take his car over the line in 1st position after 2 races of being, I think, behind Sir Hames the entire time. After, I don't even know how many laps of battling there between the 2 cars this whole race.
This is basically the entire race, yeah.
Yeah.
32 of 32 laps.
So
Oh, that is very apt now that you point that out, Toasty.
32 Nasty PSVR weaving his car back and forth across the finish line straight into first place. Congratulations to Nasty on his first win for Avanti Corsa. Sir Hames crossing the line in second, putting up an incredible defensive battle there.
Bryn took a smooth line through the last corner. Doesn't look like Beto will be able to catch up here. Bryn's gonna take the podium for VIR and Corvette. Weaving in celebration as well over the line. Congrats to him.
And a valiant attempt by Bishop for the one stopper, almost making it work. Almost
just
getting
a
himself
great
on the
recovery
podium.
drive, though. He was at 12th at one point, just able to claw his way back. Still very proud of that drive.
So little Jacob and Ads almost crossing this front the start finish line side by side. Oh man, all the GR4 races have intense battles going into the final laps of the race. So Nixon finishes in 8th on his debut race at LRC. Poole crosses the finish line in 9th, quickly followed by Killepros. And then Token Timmy coming up across the... looks like the... Oh, you already passed the last corner there. So, crazy, crazy race. Super exciting.
Wow, yeah, that was quite an eventful one.
Yeah, that was super intense. All right, let me save the replay. Oh, what? I'm not able to save it? Oh, that was weird.
I don't think I'll talk to you about it later.
Oh, okay.
You might have too many replays saved already.
Oh, no. That'd be unfortunate. Oh, I think someone else can save it and then share it.
Yeah,
so.
it'll be a shareable file, but well done to our racers.
Yes, absolutely well done. So quickly look over our race results before Dinosaur closes the lobby. So again, Nasty with the win in the Avanti Corsa NSX. Sir Hames in second and Bryn in third. Congratulations to our podium winners. Bryn, especially with the Corvette, that was an amazing drive by him. Beto put up a good fight, and Bishop not able to defend against Beto and Bryn to get that podium position in 5th. Little Jacob in 6th, Ads in 7th, and then Nixon in 8th. And then for the rest of the grid, we have Poole in 9th, Killer Pros in 10th, Token Timmy, Rogue Nipra, and Dinosaur finishing up the grid. All right. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll end the stream and then continue with the GR3 class in about a couple minutes. So please stick with us. We're going to do a sprint race, a reverse championship grid sprint race for the GR3 class, and then we'll get into the feature race as well. So any closing remarks, Toasty or Alan?
I mean, this race had a bit of everything, right? I mean, the strategy battle, 3 different strategies within the top 5, and just battles throughout the entire race, all the way up and down the grid. Really great to watch.
Yeah, I think we're 3 hits, 3 for 3 on hits. Just incredible driving by all the drivers. Love the different strategies, seeing them all come to fruition. Great recovery drives, great defense by Sir Hames, even though he finished second. Just an incredible battling with him in 32. Just I really can't speak. Giving more compliments than I can muster up right now. Just great racing.
All right, sounds good. So again, we will end the stream and we'll pick it back up in a couple minutes for the GR3 class. So don't go anywhere.